So then, I was thinking, been out in the garden today, just been chilling, getting some thoughts going through the brain, and I've been thinking about one man this weekend. No, not that man. This man.
Nico Hulkenberg.
So, let's talk about Nico Hulkenberg. Amazing, sensational return to F1. Obviously, due to Sergio Perez's situation, and these things happen, and it's why teams need reserve drivers, and that whole Esteban Gutierrez situation went on. But Nico Hulkenberg got called up at in the evening of the Thursday evening when Sergio tested positive for the thing, and then flew over to the UK, went straight to the Racing Point factory, had his seat fit, and that was until early hours of the morning. Went straight to the sim and the next morning and waited at the track, and during this time he had to have 2 tests. Getting that shoved up your nose twice, that's got to be lovely. Comes into the paddock 15 minutes before FP1 for the British Grand Prix. Okay. Jumps in the car, obviously is a bit off the pace compared to Lance, goes through practice, let's get to the qualifying. Q1, he's like 6/10 off Stroll. I'm like, well, it's not bad, First, probably properly going at it in anger. Q2, 6/100ths off Stroll. Okay. Didn't make it to Q3, obviously. Got P13. Pretty decent for your first race back. Get to the race, doesn't start, unfortunately, due to a hydraulics issue. These things happen. Unfortunately, it happened to Nico. Then we come to the 70th anniversary Grand Prix this week. Sergio Perez tests negative again. No, positive. And then Nico has to step back in. And this possibly could be another situation where it happens in Spain, where Perez could test positive, but he may also not be allowed to leave the UK because he's had a positive test. Then we are going practice. Cool, he's on the pace, pretty much matching Lance in the sessions, doing very well. Qualifying? No, that's alright. Get out of Q1. Cool, did that last week. Get out of Q2. Oof, didn't do that last week. Then what happens? P3. He came third. How did he do that? And he was 4/10 ahead of Lance. Okay. Get to the start of the race. Nico drops back behind Max at the start, but then is sort of holding position there, going through the race, controlling it nicely, going. Later in the race, he's up in 5th behind Charles. Then he picks up a vibration. The team pits him for new set tyres. I don't think they did anything wrong. And the fact that people were saying that he got pitted to allow Lance to get more points. Racing Point aren't going to do that. They're not going to do that. There's no point in them sabotaging their own car for it, because Nico was in 5th, Lance was considerably behind. It would have compromised Nico so much if they wanted to just make the switch, they would have said. They would have made the team orders. And I can maybe understand if it was a podium and say Lance is going to be fighting for drivers' points, you're not, but it wasn't for a podium, and really it was mainly just picking up constructors' points. So people that are saying it was a conspiracy or something is chatting out their arse, aren't they? We hear what do we hear after the race? Oh, he's having chats he's chirping up some team bosses. He's having a little going for it. He's trying to wiggle his way back into the paddock. I think these 2 weekends have really shown that he should still be in F1, and how much he got mugged off by Cyril in Renault. Just gonna sort of now go through the options. I think Nico could join from now. So I think there's possibly 4 options. They're kind of linked. So the least likely option for this would be Red Bull. I don't see after Alex's performance this weekend why he can't continue that on. So I don't think Alex will be getting dropped anytime soon. Fight me. But if there was that to happen, I could see Red Bull wanting to pick Nico up, because he's he'd be a good support driver to Max. He's not quite at the same level as Max, but he'd be there or thereabouts, be able to just be just behind the heels, not quite nibbling at them, And he has amazing technical insight. We heard this from what he was saying during practice sessions and that, so we know he's very switched on mechanically with the cars. The next team I have that he could join would be AlphaTauri, and this would more than likely to be alongside Pierre. And I could see this happening. I really could. I think it'd be a good move. That AlphaTauri looks fairly rapid this year. Kvyat's not necessarily extracting the most out of it. So, if he gets dropped, I could see Nico going there. I think that would be a good move for both parties. He could help push the development of that car, and he has a bit more experience than Pierre, so he can maybe... I know Pierre's not a bad driver by any means, but Nico could give him a bit, just sort of little here, there, little sending out the tips. I think he'd be an amazing asset to the Red Bull family, honestly, because if Yuri Vips probably doesn't get the super license points, I think Yuri Vips, if he gets the super license points this year, he will be in that AlphaTauri. If not, I could see them picking up Hulkenberg. Then next, these two teams are linked, so it would be Haas or Alfa Romeo. I could see him joining both, and that's because, I don't think Kimi or Gio will be at Alfa at the end of the year, and I don't think that Roman will be at Haas because, tried to... Well, then again, Kevin also tried to kill someone, so, they've done it each back to back at some races. So now I think these guys would be more likely to pick up Nico than the other guy, than Helmut Marko, and that would be because that Ferrari's really sort of lacking. They sell parts to Alfa, they sell parts to Haas. I mean, Alfa's sort of a little bit of B team for them, and I'm guessing they experiment with parts on the Alfa. It would make sense. So maybe Nico could help push the development in the areas where he thinks it's needed to get more performance out of those parts. And I think Alfa Romeo would probably be the best team for him. I don't think Haas would be great, probably because he'd be paired with bloody Kevin. Obviously, Kevin's very bitter towards Nico over the whole Renault situation, but so... Let's say he goes to Alpha, he would more than likely be partnering one of the Ferrari juniors from F2 this year. My bets would be on Robert Schwartzman going there. And then I could probably see Mick Schumacher going to Haas. I think those would be moves that we see by the end of the year, which would be interesting. So Nico would be able to really help develop Robert as a driver. He'd be able to lend his expertise, sort of help him get his footing in the door with the team, and really develop him as a driver where he's so young. And Nico has 11 years of experience, 10 years if you count this year, but I wouldn't really. So I think Nico just has a lot of technical experience to help develop cars. We saw him when he was at Force India, and we've seen him also with Williams. Those cars were okay. They were okay. They weren't sort of world beaters, but obviously Force India have always been able to maximise the most out of their limited budget, and I have no doubt Nico was able to support the development through pushing in specific areas because of that. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Tweet me at LeanterF1. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.